Davey, we are live. Well, hello, everyone outside of the United States, inside the United States, but here in the United States, it's noon. But I know, Davey, and you're part of the country, it's 7 o'clock or so,
Well,
right?
7 p.m. here in the UK just now. Yeah, hello to everybody
Okay.
around the world. And hello
Uh,
and good evening to you, Mr. Steiger. And thanks once again for having us on.
Listen, it was so much fun last week, and people just loved the interaction. And I said, well, you know, we'll get others from your region to come on.
Yeah,
But, you know, again, we want to establish that this is the prime time for all of our folks over there in Europe, in Australia, South Africa, Africa, etc. Hello, Skylar. How are you doing?
I thought it was
Uh,
funny last night while I was doing the chat room during the show with Milky Way. At least three times, three different people popped into the chat and left one remark and then left straight away again. And the one remark that they left was, "Oh, it's an American show," and then jumped straight back in. I didn't even get
I
the chance
know.
to say, "Wait, no, tune in
Yeah.
tomorrow."
Well, they think that. And hey, listen, one of the things that I begin to realize, Davey, is not everything is American.
Well, no, of course not, and
You know?
I don't mean it in any respect. That
Oh, no,
it's
no.
I think it's a thing that
Yeah.
America probably dominates popular culture.
Yeah. I
And
think that would be true.
yeah, the UK would be doing the same if it was the same size as America,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we're not. You've got more people, so
We
that's
did.
just that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's nothing
Uh,
wrong with that. And it doesn't matter where the news is coming from with either, as long as the news is getting out there. That's as long as the
yeah.
message is getting out there. It doesn't matter where it comes from at the end of the day.
I
But
agree. I
this
agree.
is great, the platform that you've provided for a worldwide sort of scope rather than just solitary based American approach, let's say.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, one of the things I've learned, Davey, is that we have a very diversified audience and from all
Yeah.
over the world. I'm telling you, I've gotten to know a number of people, such as yourself, um, good friend down in South Africa. Good morning, Mother Nature. Joe, good to see you. Gravity Deborah, good to see you. And
I said
as
a quick hello, but it's hard to concentrate. Multitask.
it is, it
It's a
really
learning process.
if people don't know, but it truly is. And I as a pen pal, and that's what the term was back in the day when,
Mm.
gosh, when I say when I was growing up, to me, it doesn't seem that long ago, but I guess it's a perspective. But as a pen pal, we just began to communicate. And the thing that got me, Davey, is like talking with you, talking with her down in South Africa, talking to another person over in Malaysia. You know what I found out, Davey?
What's that?
We may live in different countries, different cultures, different realities.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that I have found common in all of us is that we are all humans.
Yeah, yeah.
And we may live different worlds apart, different realities, but you know something, Davey? We're all sharing this reality.
An absolutely wonderful thing. I don't want to bring the sadness into the show this early in, but just on a
It's
note of that,
live.
yeah, it's life exactly. One of the hardest things I find is not being able to find that close by, yeah,
Yeah.
like neighborly, yeah, or like going out and passing somebody in the street and saying good morning to them, and a smile. Nowadays, and I mean this in all sincerity, it's a sad thing. If you had to walk past someone in the street in Glasgow and tip your hat to them and say good morning, they would think you were a nutter and they would
Oh,
probably call the police. Um,
yeah.
that's the things, the small touches I think that we've lost close in our own communities. It's great, that there's pockets of us, let's say, or there's the outreach throughout the world. And it's great that we're finally feeling that urge to sort of come together, if you like. And I think that's what it is. It's almost like the start of Highlander, if you like. It's the far off call from a faraway land, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
We're feeling that urge to come together and do something. And that's fantastic. As long as we can keep that momentum going, and we can keep that momentum going strong, and let it grow of its own free will as well, it will be a fantastic thing.
And we are doing that, Davey. There are more and more
absolutely.
people. This lovely, lovely person said that they been looking, you know, so many places on Facebook, YouTube.
Wow.
They just seem to have a different feel to it. But she said here, she says, I feel at home. I feel like there is people that I can talk to.
Yeah.
I think that's a success. Hello, everyone.
Amazing.
By the way, I just want to say, hey, Brian, good to see you, buddy. Enjoyed the interview last night. People just loved you, dude.
We have cat attention, I'm afraid.
Raven Wolf, good to see you, dear. Linda, peace, babe. How you doing? Oh, that's all right. Just enjoy the chat room, Raven. So we're accomplishing something here. We're really we're tackling those types of subjects, Davey, that so often invoke cognitive dissonance. They so often invoke separation and division. What I love about this group of people, these men and women that come here to participate in this discourse, is you don't see that here.
Yeah.
You'll see different opinions, different views, but it's not an attack environment.
And it's not in an argument either.
Yeah.
It's always in a discussion. There's no view ever put out that's disallowed, if you like. And I think that's great as well. I think it's that discord that you say that we all have together. It's unique. I spoke a little last week about how much time I've spent on various other forums of the internet, doing chat rooms and talking with people. And personally, I've never found this much connection or closeness to the people I now talk to on a regular basis. And I'm talking maybe at least 4 or 5 hours a day when you think about it.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Because
if you do your show, and then say you do, and sorry for the plugs to other people, but you get plugs anyway. To like Jeff, you watch your show, you watch Jeff's shows, you watch the Lake Project, you either watch Heidi or Jenny, you go and watch Trisha G as well, you know?
Yes.
All the same people, yeah?
Yeah.
But there's another side to this as well. I watch a lot of real-time space videos. Like I like catching all the SpaceX launches. I like doing solar observations, so I do a lot of Planet X stuff as well. And all of those chat rooms, totally different people, talking about totally different things. Now, I've tried to promote your channel while I'm in some of the SpaceX places, or if I'm watching NASA videos. I'm trying to get people to come, and I've dragged 1 or 2 people into your chat, but I keep trying to drag more, you know. But yeah.
Well, sometimes, Davey, that mule will kick.
Well, yeah, I think that's an idea for everybody. It's one thing that absolutely everybody in chat could do right now is at some point this week, go to an alternative chat room, talk to somebody, buddy up with somebody, and bring a pal, so that one night next week, or maybe in 2 weeks' time, we can have a buddy night where everybody's got to bring a buddy. Everybody's got to bring a pal that
I like that.
Join in the conversation. And again, that'll help our numbers grow, and it'll help the word spread as well.
I like that idea. Wow. You know, I think that's fabulous. It's like kind of Raven Wolf's channel, you know, on the round table.
Yeah.
I think that these are excellent formats for civil discourse, that you can get opinions out there. And I think that's wonderful about bring a buddy. I think that's great. Listen, one of the things I found out, Davey, even by talking with you, talking to others, one of the things that Brian really struck me last night in our conversations.
Brian was brilliant last night.
Just a delightful soul, was how many people in his area, of which I know well, I used to live there in that region, are awake.
Yeah. The Bible Belt comment that he made. I was very in the story he told us about his grandma as well, was it?
Mm-hmm.
I was very surprised at that. My expectations, if you like, of America would be that the Bible Belt is still very much the Bible Belt. You know, I don't know if you know, but do you know the documentarist Louis Theroux?
No.
No, he's a he works for BBC Two, and he
Okay.
does quite controversial documentaries. And he's really well known for doing 2 documentaries in the Bible state in America. And one of them, I think it was the second one, he went in there, I think, kidding on to be gay. And he tried to interview some of the top men that were running, and it was like huge churches. They had congregations of like thousands.
Yeah.
And he was trying to interview somebody that was like controlling 5 or 6 of these churches. And he'd interviewed them previous in the other interview, and they wouldn't let him talk to him in the second interview because he was gay. Well, Louis tried to storm this guy's business building and force an interview with him. And I'm sure at one point in the video, Louis gets beat up as well.
No doubt. Listen,
great. Louis Theroux is the guy's name, and he's a BBC
I have
Two.
to check that out.
Yeah,
Hello, Valerie. Just want to say the room is filling up.
I'm sitting here. I've got chat here, Wayne, and I keep going. Hi, Scratch.
Yeah.
Ghost, I'm looking forward to. Is it Friday or is it tomorrow? You've got Ghost on.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Corey is coming on tonight.
I was checking out Ghost's YouTube channel the other day. He's got some excellent sounds. He does his own music videos and stuff.
Yeah, I got to tell you, we're an age-wise, you know, he's actually could be my son. I mean, but the fact is, the thing that travails and transfers all time, distance, generations is music.
Yeah,
and I really like it.
I get that when I go out dancing, Wayne. So
yeah.
I still like going out clubbing. The last time I was out clubbing was a few months ago, I'll bet. But like when I go out, I'm 45-year-old, but I'm down the front in front of the lights, giving it all that. And I've got all these 18-year-olds all around me going, "Where do you mate? Where do you mate?" You know.
So you're 45. So I'll have my therapy for you today. Here it goes.
Relax, calm down now. Don't stress. Take it easy.
So calm down. Okay. Don't get stressed. Just take it easy. No. But listen, there was a great artist back in the day when I was going dancing. I did a lot of dancing in my day. I grew up in the disco era.
I've heard the URM parties back in the 60s. So
yeah. And I just had his name and I can see him. And now I'll think of it in a second, but never stop dancing. I'm telling you, we don't dance enough, Davey, as a species.
Absolutely.
We don't. You know what? If you dance, you can't be sad.
Yeah. When you think of every tribe on this planet, every indigenous tribe, let's say, everybody that lived in the jungles, everybody that lived in the deserts, all the peoples that were here before us, they all danced. They all danced continually around fires, naked, painted, wild, going mad with it. Probably full of the local plant life as well, but like that's all good. It's all energy, and it's flowy energy, and it's the feeling of that and being in connection with nature.
Good energy.
Yeah.
So I want to share something that I wanted to bring up, and I wanted to show
I have to apologize. My 2 cats are going crazy.
I hear them. So I kind of like to bring up some of the stories that we see over on the other side of the ocean. In this case, both oceans.
Mm-hmm.
I found this one interesting. Again, bright light, ground shaking explosions over Russia sparks fears of a U.S. missile strike on North Korea. Now, I don't know how they're getting all this, but you can see from this video here.
When was this one?
Something is definitely going on over there in Russia. I don't know what it is.
That's nuts.
Apparently, neither does anyone else. Are you seeing anything up in the latitudes where you are,
but,
Dave?
Nothing like that. I'm just watching the picture here. Do you notice the two black dots either side of the picture as well?
Yeah.
In the video, are they in the sky? Do you think, or are they artifacts? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think that this is obviously a webcam, and they're catching something
Yeah.
over there.
That's amazing. I was out looking today at cameras. I'm hopefully going to be fitted out with a camera this week, and that gets me out and about doing my walking videos again. But I've been noticing chemtrails here recently. They've been getting quite bad. So I'm going to start shooting some of them as well.
Yeah, start taking. I think it would be kind of cool if everyone could start taking pictures of the chemtrails and start doing a comparison.
It'd be great to do a world comparison on chemtrails, actually, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's a very good idea.
It would answer a lot of questions for me.
Yeah.
And that is, what are they using for the dispersal? Is each country using its own aircraft? Is there
method and actually particle wise as well?
Yeah. So here's one that I think is really interesting.
Wow.
So this is Antarctica. These are these blue clouds that they're now seeing. And I've done research on this, Davey, and they were virtually non-existent. If they did show up.
I've never heard of a blue cloud in my life.
Yep. And this one here. Now, you also will notice something. You can go to the satellite there is one directly above the North Pole. There is one directly above the South Pole. You will never see a picture from a satellite directly down on the North Pole or the South. As you can see here, it's all blocked out.
Yeah, in the middle. So is that covering all of the North Pole then?
This is Antarctica.
So is this covering all of the South then? Yeah, all of Antarctica. Wow.
You can see the date timestamp down here.
Yeah, it's the white bits in the middle of it. It's almost like energy or plasma, isn't it? It's like really showing up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. It's
I mean, are we seeing heat? What is it that we're seeing there with the dark cloud and the light cloud?
Well, they know what the name of the clouds are. I mean, they're not Glassentens clouds. They know how they happen. That's always what's considered to be like meteorite smoke. But here is the deal. This year, it is really, really big. And I can only imagine the view from underneath. Could you imagine what that view is?
That would be amazing. It would be dazzling for sure.
Yeah. Now you're high enough in the latitudes to see sometimes the northern lights, right?
Well, we're in the sort of valley of Scotland, if you like. So we don't get to see it that well. If we get a really clear night, we do. My friend up in Orkney, however, gets it practically every other night, and he's some amazing dazzling displays. We just get like sometimes a green hue over the horizon. That's what I've noticed recently. Just before Christmas and sort of the week after Christmas, we were getting quite an orange sky, which I thought was strange, and it was a streaky orange as well. It wasn't like an orange glow from the sun, if you like, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I saw Amanda's pictures this morning.
They were wow, the big purple planet.
Yeah, and I don't have permission to show her pictures. I would.
Amanda, post them. Is Amanda in the chat?
Yeah, Amanda Berry. No, is who over on Facebook, who actually, I think she caught probably one of the most interesting phenomenons that I think it does defy what I would call kind of rational explanation.
Yeah. Is that, are you talking about the big orb one?
Yeah, the purple planet.
Absolutely. It's clear as day, so to speak.
Yeah, it really is. And I've asked
I would like to hear you mentioned her last night, and I'm a fan. I would love to hear Claudia, Dr. I can't remember her second name. Opinion on that picture.
Avers?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll write Claudia and see. Listen, I remember very early when she started coming out, she took a lot of grief.
Oh, listen,
And,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
I used to I get caught up in a lot of that.
mm,
And I sort of I backed sort of Planet X quite a bit through it all. And I jokingly said to them a few times, you know, we should really go to Hollywood with this because
mhm.
this whole kind of debacle in the background, what you're putting out there is a story. The whole thing, it's like a great science fiction plot. I'm sure it would all make like a great movie, you know.
You know, it's the old saying when I took drama, you know, there's only three dramas. All plays, all movies are predicated on three foundations. You know, man against man, man against himself, or man against nature.
Excellent.
The last one, I think we're going to need to add a fourth character because it's obviously nature.
Well,
Nature has its own thing. So,
yeah, and always will have as well. I think. I'm just quickly. I noticed in chat that I've got a fellow Glaswegian who's joined us.
who has?
Wayne. Yes.
Who?
I'm quickly checking. Yeah, Cody Android. All right, Wayne and Davey from Ian in Glasgow. Hiya, Ian. Having a great night. Hope.
Hi, Ian. Good to see you. So y'all are also up there close enough. Do you get enough clear nights up there? I guess that's the question. I looked at some of your weather.
Yeah.
You guys get kind of socked in, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Again, especially sort of being in Glasgow, we're in that sort of cradle, if you like. There's if you look at us on a map and you look at Lanarkshire, Lanarkshire is like a big surrounding bowl of mountains, if you like.
Okay.
And we're right at the bottom of that bowl. So yeah, we kind of get a lot of rain and we get a lot of cloudy skies. And then when we do get the clear skies, you can if the plough's there, you can get a really good view of it. But
Okay.
that's a bit hit, to be honest with you, you know.
Okay.
I've been playing about with the idea of going and get myself a telescope because I want to continue doing the solar observations. But it can only be for that. I don't think I could do any sort of star or planet watching from where I am in Glasgow.
I have to ask, do you have moors around you?
We have the Stirling Moors, which are about, I would say about 20 mile away, maybe less than that.
Okay.
Yes, I was actually planning on going a walk over that way relatively soon. I'm waiting in the weather. Just with my pleurisy, I can't risk the frost, unfortunately.
I don't blame you. Anytime I think of the moors, I think of American Werewolf in London.
Oh, don't win.
All right. Oh, you know, I feel like I'm that little bar scene.
Have you never heard my werewolf story, sir? And did you know
I have not. We can take a break here. I mean, I did want to point out to folks, you know, this whole thing about Zuma.
The Zuma rocket, yes.
You know, the whole, you know, conspiracy behind Zuma, how they came up with the name. You know,
what is Zuma, Wayne?
Well, there is the folklore behind this is that, you know, there was a game called Zuma, and that was a game that was a rocket ship game that took you through the universe. And supposedly Zuma is part of that quote unquote technology, you know, or why'd they come up with the name Zuma? What we do know is this. There was, again, UFOs seen over this craft, and apparently whatever it was carrying, I think the guys upstairs said, you ain't putting that thing up here.
Yeah. It's the worrying thing. So we were told that SpaceX were going to launch their heavy rocket for the first time.
Yeah.
For the first time they were launching that rocket. That's not special enough. It's going to carry a secret special payload by an unknown government that will communicate with an unknown source about unknown things.
Oh,
and
that's
then when it goes up there, it disappears.
Excellent.
It's not going to fall on our heads.
Davey, I like that. Maybe this bird isn't lost.
Well,
maybe they just got it in a different type of a cage.
Yeah. Secure Team done a good video last week pre-launch and linked it to Black Knight, which I thought was very interesting. And the
Well,
Black Knight Satellite.
and I'm a great fan of Tyler's.
Yeah.
And, I've done a program on the Black Knight as well. And as you're talking about this, it does not surprise me, Davey, that someone like Elon Musk, that would, if I had the resources, I'd want to send something up there.
Yeah.
I'd want to do away with all the hypocrisy, all the ambiguity, and I'd want to go, okay, I've got rockets. I can put one up there. Very good point.
I just had a thought. So, like, with the Trump organization sort of taking over presidential chair in America, Elon Musk would have been doing all of these deals for electric cars and his Mars project and the tunnel and stuff. All of those deals would have been done like years ago, probably. They would have been done years ago, probably, I would imagine. So then President Trump comes along and he says, "Oh no, wait a wee minute. Oh, this technology, we America first. We could kind of be using some of this, and we want American workers on it and stuff like that." So Elon Musk decides that he's just going to go to the other guys and talk to them, because Elon Musk can get up into space for a start. So if there's other guys that are up in there, maybe he's talking to them, doing his own thing.
Oh, well, listen, if you look at the world elite, and if you happen to have a couple billion in the bank, and this is how these things work.
Absolutely.
And, and you can get a payload up there,
But you might not know where it's going.
Dr. Miller, who will be on Friday night, as he said in the movie Contact, people need to watch that.
Yeah. Can I just say, when Dr. Miller was exceptional. He absolutely blew my mind listening to him last week, and I'm looking forward so much to the Friday show.
I mean, that is serious mind candy.
It made me think a lot about what I've done as a kid, taking drugs wise, and maybe how awake I was as a teenager, but not having the here to know it, and it inspired me. A video that I'm trying to put together, the one that I want to do is Confessions of Being Asleep, or Confessions of Sleep.
Oh, that is a great title, my friend.
I was thinking about in this awakened state of process that I'm going through, it would be good, and you said, he note down everything or whatever. I thought it would be good to do a reflective look back at the whole of my life, if you like, if I can go back the full 45 years and think about those times where, I could have been awake, but I wasn't awake. And it's like what they are. It's like putting them out there. So it's like a confession. It's the confession of sleep is the way that I'm putting it. And maybe it's things some other people could pick up and do as well.
Hey, listen, this is an open platform. People, if they have a story, if they got a project, I like that, though. That is really good, because one of the thoughts that Dr. Miller left with me is that when you open up that part of your mind, which the brain begins to activate, I don't think people realize that our minds are so multidimensional, and that our brains will only pick up that part that is reflective upon which we have perceived to be our reality. Doesn't mean, people think, they keep saying that we only use 10% of our brains. That is a complete, it's false.
If you were going to use that statement, maybe you could say we only know that we think we use 10 or 20% part of our brain.
We only access the capacity.
Yeah.
All our brains, we're using all of our brains.
I love these. I wanted them to talk more about whales and the quad brain that they have, and how they can use different parts of it. And I was thinking, I guess, so I'm going to go on a rant about this a little bit, but going back to being a ranger, and one of the things I used to talk to people quite a lot was when I'm walking through a forest with them or walking through a woodland, I'd stop them, tell them all to be quiet, and suggest to them, why haven't we seen any deer? And they'd all look, they're all in bed sleeping or hiding, and I'm like, but we're in the middle of, there's hundreds of us, or like 20 or 30 of us walking through, we should have disturbed at least one deer. And I know there's at least 2 or 3 herds of deer in this place, but we're not seeing them. Where are they going? Where are they? And I always I didn't say it straight out, but my suggestion sort of mentally was to them that they're going to other dimensions. They're going to other places that we can't see, you know, because they've got the ability to do that. They can't speak to us, but they've got other powers that they can use. And one of these powers is being able to go to other dimensions, or to the left, as Dr. Miller said, of where we are, you know, and we just can't see them.
Well, I think tonight, and this is why I'm so proud of Corey coming on, because what you just said, Davey, and I know the two of you have never talked.
No, I've
is
not met Corey.
exactly what he sees, and you're going to hear it. I'm not going to tell his story.
No, not at all.
But I can tell you this, because of what he went through and endured, that part of his brain that has been activated, the most of the rest of us don't know how to activate that part of our brain, Davey.
Yeah. I think that taking acid at a young age, I was 13-year-old, and I didn't stop. I stopped taking acid when I was about 18-year-old, because it's the decision that I made. Then I restarted taking acid again when I was 21, and I didn't stop until I was about 29. So for a fair majority, all of my teenage years and a fair majority of my young adult years, I was tripping quite a lot, let's say.
Did you ever get disciplined when, see, one of the things I did, well, it's only because I was part of a research group, but so when you dropped acid, did you drop it with a purpose, or did you just drop it merely for the effect?
Purpose.
On purpose.
Mental purpose. I had purpose in my head.
Okay. Good.
It was always to create an effect. I would always think positive. I would always think happiness. I would always be in a good situation. I would say 7 out of 10 times I would always be outdoors, close to nature, by a river or in a woodland or surrounded by trees, you know, away from people. Or the times that I was with people, it would be like a big group of people having a party outside with a big bonfire and stuff like that. So it's always good vibes, always a good place to be. And I've been in situations where I'm tripping out my head and people are freaking out, and I've had to take control of the situation and sort of walk them out of the situation we're in the now, and then take myself back to the party situation and bring my acid back on naturally so that I can get back to a happy state. And I found that quite easy to do after quite a while.
Well, yeah, because there comes, now let me ask you something. Now that you're at 45, what do you see? I mean, you know, that's one of the things that I think it's important for those who have experimented with LSD, other hallucinogenics, is to see, do you think you've evolved? Do you think you have been able to see things on a broader perspective? That's one of the things I always look back and I can say to the affirmative for myself. Yeah, I think it opens up things. So let's let you go ahead and finish that.
I for years, there's been 2 or 3 situations in my life where I've had people tell me, Davey, you're special. There's something about you. There's I don't know what it is, but there's something. They've always been kind of prominent situations to me, and they've always kind of stuck with me as if I've sort of questioned why they would say that. And it's kind of stuck with me all the time since then. Past 2 years, I've been saying that I'm self-diagnosed bipolar because I've been suffering depression for years and they don't know what it is and blah, blah, blah. I put it down to the acid. I put it down to taking acid, and we call it speed. I don't know what the reference to that would be in America. But back in the day, we had speed as well, and I would take acid and speed together.
Okay.
I think that they 2 drugs had a major effect on me at a young age and had an effect on my development growing up. Now, I was a very I don't know how to say the word, intuitive, is that correct? Intuitive person. I was very intuitive as a kid. I had a couple of UFO experiences as a kid. I had some occult experiences as a kid before I started taking acid, and I was into that before I started taking acid. So when I took acid the first few times, it really became quite apparent to me quite quickly. Oh, wait a minute, I can do things here with this. So that's and for the very start, that's how it always with it. My friends, I sat and had long conversations with my friends till like 4 o'clock in the morning about how a snail moves down a path, you know, for like 3 hours. It might have been mad and strange at the time, but now in hindsight, looking back, it's done things to my head. It's opened me up in so many different ways that, you know, the way that I question things, the way that I reason with things is completely different for everybody else, I've noticed. And I think that's what my depression has always been. That's what my frustration's always been. Just because, as Dr. Miller says, maybe I'm a little bit to the left. And I think that could be said about a lot of people in the chat and yourself too, Wayne. Maybe that's one of the things that's unique about us. Maybe we're all just a wee bit to the left, you know?
That's interesting. Listen, you know, a lot of people don't know this about Woodstock, but John Sebastian, who was with the group Loving Spoonful, go and look at the video of Woodstock when he's singing out there. And when he's asking people to help him sing the lyrics of the song, what most people don't realize was that he was tripping on LSD. He actually says now in the interviews that when he looked out, he says, I couldn't see the people. It was just like this huge wave coming in. But, well, you know, sure.
Stan Laurel, the great Stan Laurel, from Glasgow, no less. Well, I don't know if he was from Glasgow or not, but he used to play in Glasgow. On the Trail of the Lonesome Pine, when they're dancing, Laurel and Hardy, watch that sequence with closer eyes when they're dancing, and look at Stan Laurel's eyes. I swear he's tripping out his head when he's doing that. I knew they liked a drink or two, and I knew they were into some things, but like, the two of them cracked me up. But you watch that scene with Stan Laurel dancing, and just watch his eyes. It's absolutely brilliant.
Interesting. So, as you've gone on, and this is kind of interesting, Dave. I wasn't.
Sorry, I've been sidetracked quite a bit.
Yeah, I wasn't anticipating this. So, how you stand now in an awakened state of consciousness, do you find that the experiences that you had in the past are aiding you as you go forward, or have they been, you know, more of a hindrance? I'm just curious.
Well, I can give you it from.
And thank you for opening. You know, listen, Dave, you don't want to answer these questions. You don't have to.
Oh no, not at all. It's one of the reasons that I decided to put myself on YouTube was to be an open book. When I've been an open book all my life with all my friends and people that are close to me and stuff.
Okay.
And I thought, you know, that's a good way to be, because if people, sometimes people find it hard to show compassion. And I understand that, you know. Sometimes people find it hard to show feelings, you know. But there's a bit of, if you put it in people's faces, you know, they just, once, if they realise it. One of the greatest things for me last year was walking through Glasgow Town Centre and seeing a homeless Chinese family. Kids, mum, dad, lying in cardboard boxes. And in the front door of a casino. And there was people standing in the doorway of the casino smoking cigarettes, while this family group lay there in cardboard boxes. And there's nothing that I could do, but I just stood there and cried. And I couldn't believe it. It was like, and I think one of the turning points for me is to say, humanity gone. There's nothing left, like, you know. So that's an example of putting it right in your face and seeing it and having to deal with it. So part of my issue was, you know, coming out was a big thing for me. And, you know, I couldn't help but sort of put myself in people's faces and say, right, this is who I am now. It's a big change, blah, blah, blah. And it's been the same with the problems of depression. I've come out more about my bipolarness and my depressions in the past year than what I ever have before. And it's been a great thing for me to be able to talk about it. It's been a great thing for me to be able to share. And the responses that I've had through my own YouTube and Facebook has been phenomenal as well. Some of the stories that people send me in are heart touching. You know, they break your heart as well. But it's shared stories. You know, it's I don't know, it's shared compassion, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I like that. It's a nice bit of humanity. Yeah. But you were saying about how I deal with things now. So in Monday there, the benefit system in this country is way too, for me, complicated for me to try and explain. But at the moment, I'm at the mercy of the benefit system in the UK. And I've been waiting about 6 weeks to get a payment from them, which I would normally get. It's called universal credit. It's support money. Mm-hmm. It amounts to about £280 a month, basically. And that's all I have to live on, me and the 2 cats.
Wow.
So, well, yeah.
Wow.
But listen, for 6, and I'm not beating about the bush or anything here. For 8 months of this year, I didn't have any money whatsoever coming in. I was totally like just living off my own means, so to speak, which was a very difficult thing to do. So I'm grateful now of being on the benefit system and being able to get the assistance. And it's actually accessing that's allowing me to get onto YouTube now as well, because I can pay for electricity, I can
Mm-hmm.
keep my gas on and light and blah blah blah.
Right.
So Monday there, I was supposed to get a payment. I've got a support worker comes up and sees me every now and again, make sure I'm okay now, which is great too. She was up last Thursday, and I'd said to her, I think there's going to be a problem with benefits because I've been in bed for 4 weeks with pleurisy over Christmas and New Year. I've not saw anybody. I've broke my phone. I've not been able to contact anybody. I think that might cause a trouble. She was like, okay. So we phoned up the job centre last Thursday, and the woman told me that sanctions had been put on my money. And that meant basically that they had refused to give me money because they couldn't contact me. And I was like, oh no, here we go. So I had to try and sort all of this out. Friday, I couldn't get anything done. Now, bearing in mind, I still haven't got a phone. Yeah. So I'm sending emails out like crazy and just hoping I'm going to get some sort of response back. But people, for some reason, don't respond back to your emails in this country. It's all got to be done by the mobile phone. Long story short, Monday comes, no money in my bank account. So it was 8 o'clock last night, and finally I got a payment made to me. But that's the stress and the hassle for me to go through the weekend and then those both days either side, not knowing where or when that money's going to come, is absolutely unbelievable. Like, you know, I've got a meeting at the end of I've got a business meeting tomorrow for funding for all of this. And I've got a meeting at the end of the week for the job centre to go and sort out all universal credit stuff. Now, you were asking how things would affect me differently. Last year, on the exact same day, on Monday last year, the exact same thing happened to me because I got pleurisy last Christmas and New Year. I got suspended and my benefit money got sanctions put on it. This time last year, I walked down to the job centre and I was throwing chairs at security guards. And I was shouting at people and I was threatening people and I was pulling my hair out and going absolutely crazy. Last Monday, I was like, I can sort this out.
I'm glad to hear that.
You know, so that's in reality, that's the big difference for me, you know, is that it allows me to function more properly in the real life. Yeah. The other side of the good part of it is my creativity has went off the scale, off the chart. You know, I'm flowing my ideas I get the channel all set up. There's stuff I want to do. I'm talking with loads of different people. DJ Ransom, the show that I done with DJ Ransom on Sunday was absolutely brilliant. The two of us loved it. And we've decided that's going to be a weekly show now as well.
Good.
And it's a show about nothing other than just me and him having a laugh and people coming and joining in with us, you know. So that's
good.
It's all positive. It's all upwards and upwards. I keep laughing and singing as well.
Good.
Like randomly, I'm walking along the street and I'll have a giggle to myself. And I'm like, where's that coming from? It's just a good thing, yeah.
I don't know, folks. There's the chat room's growing again. Listen, when I hear a soul like this opens up, Davey, number one, such great courage for you to do that. But
thank you, man. What
I see listening to this, and I'm a little older than you are, but
just a little.
What I have seen, poquito, is your circumstances in essence hasn't changed. In essence, it stayed the same, but what has changed is you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what
Absolutely.
I'm hearing, and I can sense this in my spirit, you've opened doors by the shift of your vibration to one that's at peace, at rest. And look at the doors that are opening up. I dare say this, my friend, if you continue on the path that you are on, within a year's time,
I'm scared to get any more happier, man.
well, you know, you can always like this. You didn't know you could be this happy. Just think where you can go. And this is what I think that this channel is about as well, is we're all human beings.
Yeah.
You know,
One of the big things that I've been saying last week, Wayne, as well, is that it's great to notice this in yourself. And I do. I feel the happiness, you know. And I keep saying it to people. Look how happy I am. Why am I this happy? You know, can you tell me why I'm this happy? And I keep making a thing about it. But it's good to notice other people noticing it as well. You know, because encourage other people to notice it, because it's the old saying, if you smile, somebody else will smile. You know, if you smile at somebody, they'll smile back. If you laugh with somebody, they'll laugh back. If you're this happy with somebody, then that infectious energy will be that happy back with them as well.
You know, I want to give a shout out to Barbara DeLong, because Barbara.
It's been my heart and my head all this week.
I've reached out to her, and because she's been psychically on my mind, and
I think I can say for myself and everybody in the chat room, send her regards.
Yeah, because you know, she said the key to truly finding your life path is not in the intellect that you have in pursuing a living, but pursuing the creative ability that you were born with. Because within that creative ability, it will provide you everything that you need.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that's been troubling me is, you know, and I've sat here for a year and a half, Wayne, and I've not made a buck to my name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've planted trees with kids. I've took school groups out. I've done loads of great stuff, but I've not made a buck to my name. And I kind of want it that way. I don't want to earn money. I don't like money to start with. I just want to live. But unfortunately, to live, we all have to contribute in some sort of financial way to society. So I'm having great difficulty with how I'm going to continue that process. And I'm trying to come up with ways in my head that I can offer something.
Can I give you a hint how you can turn that around?
Yeah, please.
You see, you've stolen from yourself and you don't even know it. Most of the people that I find, probably a lot in this chat room, here's how you've stolen from yourself. You said you didn't have money and that you went out and you did charity, you did things for your community. Excuse me, there's actually a little bug in here in the middle of January.
Mm-hmm.
But think about this, Davey. Actually, that's not true. Because you see, even myself, everyone else that works for an employer or has a company, the thing that we are paid on is our time.
Yeah.
You, sir, you see, there is a universal law from God itself that says there is sowing time and there is reaping time. I have counseled many a people, and because I've done this, Davey, I have been at that point where you didn't have two nickels to rub together. But I learned something. You see, I learned by going and mowing my neighbor's yard, by going and raking the leaves. I sowed my time into their property and into their lives. Now, what you have not done, Davey, is that you've never expected the harvest back. And let me tell you how the universe works, how karma works. Until you start accessing that which you've sown.
That's very good, Wayne.
You need to start setting the expectation for your harvest.
Yeah.
You have sown, my friend, a bountiful harvest. But the ways of life is that you have to make access to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You're a rich man, Davey. You just don't know it.
I feel it though. I will say that.
But you see, that's the point.
Yeah,
it was
I
never
think that's
money.
Part of the happiness.
It is. It's never the money.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, for all the things that's happened to me all over my life, I mean, I can't say I've had an unhappy life, because I've been happy within myself. You know, I think times have been hard recently, and that happiness is starting to creep back into me and shine throughout me. You know, and that's the awakened state. That, along with some other added wee things, that's making me this person. Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're going to look back on this period of your life, and you're going to, when you make the exit through the life portal, you're going to look back, because we all do, and you're going to see that those most difficult times is actually were the best of times.
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah,
it's
no,
true.
certainly for learning. It's certainly for learning. It's a common. I've got two favourite sayings. One I can't say, and one is okay for audience. That is, life is for learning. You know, absolutely, life is for learning.
Did you say lemon?
Learning. Life is for learning.
Oh, okay. You see, folks,
life is for lemmings.
I'm running. So, all right. I know what a lemming is. Let's see. K-Bat, sometimes expectations are null compared to the experience of just doing it. Spot on. Yeah. Right on. Yeah. And listen, Davey, we've spent almost an hour, and I had not even thought going down here, but I got to tell you what, this has been as meaningful of a conversation of any that I've had, because it's the reality. We all like examining the evidence that we're seeing. And tonight, what Corey's going to be showing. But this is what life's about. These are the moments that when I get on the other side, that they're going to show me this is the good. Yeah. This energy that you and I just sowed into this group of people and everyone else that'll be listening to this. There are people that will be having tears in their eyes because they found an answer.
Wow.
Now, Davey, that's sowing prosperity into another's. People gets the word prosperity and they think money. No, if you have the prosperous health, you are indeed the richest person walking this planet. If you are free of depression and you've now tuned in to joy, you are the wealthiest man walking this planet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You are, Davey. And the rest of them are here as well.
That's what my walking videos are about a little. You know, some of the walking videos I've done have been me talking quite a lot, but I want them to become me not talking and just out walking and just feeling the joy of that and trying to get that through the video to let other people feel that as well.
You know, Davey, when we get finished with this show, you'll go back to your life. I will go back to mine. Everyone else here will go to theirs until we meet again. And I just want to let you know there is energy flowing to you. You're a good man.
Thank you, sir.
And I appreciate men and women of your, it's something within us that we share. And sometimes it gets lost. Like you said, there was a dark period of time and we've all been there. What most people don't realize, for myself, there was a time where a rope was hanging right next to me. Wow. And, you know, it's when you face those moments of your own mortality that the circumstances of life become so great. But here's the thing. You know what I found out? In the middle of all of that, what I found out, it was nothing more than mind coitus.
Yeah.
The situation changed. Yeah. It changed because I changed.
Everything here is still the same.
Yeah.
It's just jumbled up. Yeah. That's all it is. It's just all jumbled up. And sometimes it takes a wee bit of rearranging, but sometimes a wee bit of rearranging is a good thing too.
Oh, absolutely. Know what I mean? You know, I think everyone. My office, I got an office here. It goes, and there's times.
Did you see my new board?
I did.
I couldn't afford to go out and get myself a whiteboard, so I made a blackboard with notes.
You know, That is innovation, Davey. That is I can draw upon the universe and the creativeness of my mind, create from the ether.
Yeah.
You created something that wasn't there before.
I couldn't remember what shows I was doing through the week. So I've got my days of the week and the shows that I'm doing on the days of the week just to remind me.
Oh my gosh. Someone, kids, really? Well, you mean we have to write things down?
I didn't mean that like that.
Davey, I love you, man. I love you. I'm just going to speak just a blessing over you of peace. You are a good soul, and there are many good souls here right now. And folks, go ahead.
Can I say the same to yourself?
Sure.
So it's like you're always telling us how good we are and how great we are and how thoughtful we are. But can I hear and now from everybody in chat, and I know I speak for everybody in chat when I say this. You have been an inspiration to all of us in many, many different ways. And it's a delight to sit and take part in your daily shows, sitting in the chat, listening to you and learning from you, which is important, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is the laugh and the giggles and the enjoyment that we get from you. So can I just say from myself and from everybody in chat, thank you very much, Wayne.
I am humbled, my friend. Thank you. And look at all.
Wow, stop thanking everybody.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to thank you. So, well, Davey, my friend, I'll have you back on. Good success. Pursue that which you're doing.
One of these days, I'm going to get to talk to you about bloody Nibiru.
Well, I'll tell you what, we will have this back on. I am actually, I left that whole research.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it was great to hear you refer to it, let's say, last night, and I was glad to hear you put that statement out. It brung joy to my heart.
Listen, there is something out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's that movie. Oh, y'all remember the movie from Disney, Something Wicketh Come This Way? Yeah. There's something out there, and
I don't know if it's wicked, Wayne. I'm not sure.
Good point, Davey. Yeah, say that out. It is not wicked. It's how we perceive it to be.
I sent you an article earlier today about.
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
The cave drawings, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And they said that picture could have depicted two suns. And they're like, oh no, it can't be two suns. Don't be ridiculous. It must have been two planets, or it was the moon and the sun eclipsing because it was that bright. Well, it was simply two objects, but they also theorized that it might have been a supernova. And for a supernova to be that close to us and to be able to, well, that would be quite a thing.
Oh, well, yeah, and that's what got me. If there was a supernova that close for...
But that's the sort of time cycle that we're talking about. We're talking thousands
period. Right over here. Yeah. As you see on this calendar. And I'll tell you what, I'll go ahead and do a night and reach back to some of my people who are still Nibiru researchers.
Yay!
We'll just do a roundtable.
Oh, wow, that would be amazing. Okay. That would seriously, and bring it all up to date. I think that would be a brilliant thing to do.
I'll ask Claudia and ask.
Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is?
What's that?
Expanding the process.
You see, the man lives up to his name. All right. When I do, we'll bring you back in on that, and we'll just have a discussion.
I'd love to, and it'd be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I'd be honored. So
thank you. Well, Davey, I am just blown away. You have just this
again. We never got to talk about it. One shout out, Humanities Forest people. Have a look at my YouTube and look at the video. There'll be more.
What is your YouTube channel? What is it?
It's called Expanding the Process.
Okay. Go over there. I know people know about it, but we're going to do the same thing we did for Jeff. Every person that has a YouTube channel, send it to me.
Yeah. What I'm doing is I've built a wee list. So when I go on the channel, I'm doing mod. I try and shout out as many people as I can now. So if you see me shouting names out, I'm not being cheeky or anything. It's just everybody that we know. I'm just trying to plug all their channels in the channel as much.
That's how it works.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just love to be in here and just give everyone a big Dan Von Daisy picked me. All right. Send me an email. Steiger R vaughn@gmail.com.
Von Bon Daisy must be European with a name like that.
I love it. You know, when I hear that name, I just get, there's a sense to it that this is a name. By the way, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, just while we're looking at the chat there, it's like, guys, as I said earlier, last night, 3 people came in and said, "Oh, this is all American," and walked straight back out without making any other comments. It's ridiculous. There's loads of folk. I met 2 people from Glasgow yesterday, and at least 3 or 4 folk for the UK who have got channels. Get on here. Get yourselves promoted.
Get it. We'll promote you. Listen, I started out with 1.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
And I said, what am I doing this? But what I wanted to do was just put my aerial photography up and look at where we are today. OMG. Oh, thank you everyone for coming, spending this hour. Tune in tonight. Listen, I want you to hear Corey Barney's story.
Amazing.
You're going to absolutely be in awe, as I would. I shed a few tears because, you know, folks like you, Davey, when we show ourselves and take away all the facades and risk that, we honor that here.
No,
we do.
No. It's good to show one's true self.
It is. And Thursday night, the Mirror Awareness Project.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
7 o'clock Mountain Time. I have sent out the Evite to bring on. I don't know if Rex are going to be able to join us, but I sent it out there. We're going to see what happens. No matter who shows up, Davey.
What do folks need, Wayne? Is it just a mirror? Just an ordinary mirror?
Just a mirror. Just a mirror.
Excellent.
This has never been done.
No, wow.
So no matter what, whoever does it after us, we will be the first. We're going to document this.
This is the great thing about YouTube, being able to record things like this, you know?
Yeah.
Excuse me. And also being able to sort of like just come up with an idea and do it. You know, not even think about it. Just let's do it. You know, that's the best way to do things.
We started a Core 100 group. I haven't been a part of that because I get so busy, but they meet every week. They stay focused. And I just want to give a shout out again to Christine. You know who I'm talking to. A message from what you did and the email that you sent has dramatically impacted me. And I want to say thank you. You answered more questions than you could have ever imagined. And I just want to close this out with folks. This remote healing works. I'm telling you, listen to me. It works. And what this individual saw, I don't know this person, but she saw exactly what was part of the issue here. Today, I am pain-free, got the energy back. So, folks, it's real. It works. We're going to explore this more because, Davey, this is something we need to plug into collectively.
It sounds amazing, man.
All I got to tell you, I know I took up a little bit more time on this, but
no, not at all. One of Trish's friends was doing remote healing as well, and I've not saw her online sessions yet. But some of the stories and reflections from what she's done online it sounds absolutely amazing.
It is. And by the way, Trisha G will be on Saturday night. She's coming on Friday night. Dr. Miller
channel as well.
Oh, and Heidi is going to come back on. The incredible Heidi. I've never had Jenny Moonstone on. So
Jenny just appears with Heidi, I think. Yeah. And well, I'm on there quickly. Best wishes to Jeff, and we're all looking forward to you coming back.
Yeah, Jeff. Sending good vibes out to you, my friend, and all the rest of you folks out there. DJ, thank you for having me on over the weekend.
Ransom.
And everyone, have a great the rest of the day, no matter where the sun is and you're part of the world. Love you, I really do. That's a word I don't like to use because I think it's so over. But when you begin to have an affinity and a connection, Davey.
We have the connection. Yeah,
Yeah.
we know what that word means, and it's a great word to use when it's meant and felt in the right way. Man.
Yeah, it is. So big hugs to everyone. We'll see you tonight.
Bye, all.
And y'all be kind to one another. We will talk real soon.